clump of techno-nerds irrevocably lost in their smartphones. There's an analog nonconformist out there with fond memories of building sandcastles or playing with toy trucks in the dirt lot. There may be a lot of buzz about automated highways and cars that drive themselves, but the wanderlust to explore less traveled corners of the globe remains strong. Bumper to bumper, the 2018 Chevrolet Colorado is almost as long as a full-size truck. It's no mini truck like the 1970s Chevy LUV or compact S10 pickup of the 1980s and 1990s. But the Colorado's edge is its narrower width, which not only makes parking and maneuvering easier in civilization but also lets the off-road ready ZR2 version slip between boulders or trees that would hang up a full-sizer like the Ford F-150 Raptor. As such, the 2018 Colorado ZR2 has more in common with a Jeep Wrangler than it does the half-ton pickups down at the feed store. There are two body styles offered in ZR2 specification, an extended cab long box and a crew cab short box. Overall length and wheelbase are identical. The extended cab gains an extra foot of bed length at just over 6 feet total, something to consider if you carry motorcycles, ATVs and such, but it comes at the expense of a shorter cab with half-width, rear-hinged back doors and a pair of child or pet-sized rear jump seats. The crew cab gets a shorter 5-foot bed, but gains regular rear doors and a roomier 3-across rear bench seat with adult-sized legroom. Lifted and off-road gifted. The Colorado ZR2 comes only with 4-wheel drive. But what makes the ZR2 so off-road capable is its extra 2 inches of ground clearance and 3.5-inch wider track. The bumpers are angled for greater tire clearance and steeper slopes. Side rails under the doors protect the rocker panels from damage. The undercarriage is heavily skid-plated to shield the radiator, engine oil pan, and transfer case. Just look at it. The ZR2 shouts Baja ready. Standard Multimatic spool valve shock absorbers inspired by off-road race trucks have special damping curves to take advantage of the ZR2's longer suspension travel. As a result, the ZR2 can traverse rough off-road terrain, not to mention everyday potholes, speed bumps, and a broken pavement on our nation's underfunded roads, with surprising aplomb. The tall 31-inch P265/65 R17 all-terrain Goodyear's filter out harsh impacts and the Multimatic shock stamp vertical body motions exceedingly well. Tire noise on the highway, considering the ZR2 tire's aggressive tread pattern, is not intrusive. When the ZR2's traction control and knobby off-road tires get challenged on steep inclines or in mud, snow or loose dirt, the truck's standard locking front and rear differentials make a big difference. You'll want to use these sparingly for situations where only 1 or 2 of the truck's tires have traction. Locking the rear differential increases the truck's turning radius and locking the front makes turning the front wheels much more difficult. But the standard lockers impart a tremendous boost of confidence off-road and no competitor currently offers them. It's no hot rod. For all its Baja-ready looks, the ZR2 is no hot rod. It comes with the standard 308 horsepower, 3.6-liter gas V6, good for acceleration blasts to 60 miles per hour in just over 7 seconds. While it's a good choice for drivers who spend most of their time on the highway, it needs to be revved to 6,800 revolutions per minute to make max power, like for passing and merging, and its 275 pounds-foot of torque, while decent, is absent until 4,000 revolutions per minute. An optional 2.8-liter 4-cylinder turbodiesel, a $3,500 upcharge, is a better choice if you plan to take advantage of the ZR2's considerable off-road prowess. Fuel economy isn't really a factor as the diesel's 19-mile-per-gallon city/22-mile-per-gallon highway EPA rating and higher initial cost won't save big bucks over the 3.6-liter gas V6, which is EPA rated at 16-mile-per-gallon city/18-mile-per-gallon highway. Tipping the scales at around 5,000 pounds, the ZR2 is no lightweight. The turbodiesel offers up only 186 horsepower, which can move the ZR2 to 60 miles per hour in about 9 long seconds. but it chugs along with 369 pounds-foot of torque from just 2,000 revolutions per minute. And that's an engine speed you'll more likely see in the dirt as well as everyday in-town driving. It's the diesel that separates the Colorado ZR2 from the off-road pickup crowd. No other competitor offers one in this segment. So the 4-cylinder diesel, while down on power, is the way to go for off-road driving due to its superior low and mid-range torque. An automatic transmission, 8 speeds with the V6 and 6 with the diesel, is the only choice. If you want a manual transmission in this segment, only the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro offers one. Cabin cruiser. The Colorado ZR2's raised suspension makes for a climb up into the cab. Spoiler alert, your pants will get dirty sliding over the side rails. But once you're inside, you'll notice that the seating position is low with knees raised high. It's a bit of a battle to see over the hood or the corners of the truck. Inside, the ZR2 is no utilitarian stripper. Though it's based on an entry-level Chevrolet pickup with plenty of plastic trim, the ZR2 comes standard with niceties such as heated leather-covered power front seats, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, and automatic climate control. A MyLink infotainment system with an 8-inch color touchscreen display is also standard, equipping the truck with a backup camera, Bluetooth, satellite radio, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration, OnStar subscription services with in-cab 4G LTE Wi-Fi, and wireless charging for Qi-enabled phones. The interior comes in any color as long as it's black. Beneath the climate controls on the center stack is another bank of controls that enable some of the ZR2's added capabilities, including the driver-selectable full locking front and rear differentials, hill descent control, and tow all mode. New for 2018 is an active tow feature that works with the backup camera to help the driver align the trailer with the hitch ball. Stowage and accessories. Backseat space in the extended cab is limited. 6-footers won't fit back there without some major horse trading with the front seat inhabitants. The crew cab is a much more civilized place for 4, 5 and a pinch passengers. Under the extended cab's rear jump seats are storage bins, while the crew cab's rear bench flips up for added in-cab stowage. A sprayed-in bed liner coating is standard. So is a full-size spare tire, which creates one of the few ZR2 conundrums. A real spare tire is a great thing to have, especially when you're driving out in the boonies on rough terrain and you're out of cell phone or tow truck range. But in its stock location, it hangs down under the bed, potentially snagging rocks and stumps. An accessory bed-mounted rack gets the spare out of harm's way, but then it takes up about half of the usable bed space. The bed-mounted spare is just the tip of the ZR2 accessory pyramid. Available from the dealer are crossbars, dividers, utility racks, toolboxes and extenders for the bed, 4 different types of tonneau covers, fender flares, off-road driving lights, a sport bar, a catback performance exhaust, even wireless speakers, camera systems, and illuminated Chevy body emblems to personalize the ZR2. Yeah, you can say it's akin to going through the SEMA show with a magnet. Off-road quick. After a long decline, mid-size pickup trucks are making a comeback. While they can't tackle the big payloads and pull the heavy trailers full-size rigs do, few pickup buyers ever use a fraction of that capability anyway. Mid-size pickups offer better maneuverability and dirigibility as well as improved fuel economy. Starting at $41,215 for an extended cab version, the Colorado ZR2 also brings serious off-road driving capability back to the Chevrolet brand, planning for big, fat, knobby Goodyear Wrangler off-road tires in the sand and re-establishing the General's off-pavement and back-trail credentials. After all, playing with toy trucks and dirt lots is downright fun.